What's up, y'all? This is Brave, and I'm back with another review of Zatima. This is season 3, episode 5, and the episode is titled Game Changers. Let's go ahead and jump right into the episode. Alright, so we pick up with Fatima talking to Connie and Zach walking up. So Zach is like, "Why are you down here?" And of course, Fatima's trying to come up with something, and Connie cuts in. It's like, "Oh, I'm helping her with the funeral. She just had some questions about your mom." And it was so weird the way Zach was reacting, because he's like, "What kind of stuff do you know about my mom?" And all of this stuff. I'm like, "Sir, why do you have an attitude? Like, so this girl knew your mama's favorite color. Like, she still stayed in the project, so she talked to your mom. They may have been closer than you remember." And I'm just kind of confused as to why he was giving Connie so much attitude. Like, it was giving kind of weird, because it's like, what did you think was going on in that moment, Zachary? Alright, so basically, Zach comes down to the hood because he wants to talk to his brother Jeremiah. I said, "Well, why are you wearing this suit with this turtleneck and this chain in the hood? But I'm going to let you do what you do with your wardrobe, sir." So he basically tells Fatima that he doesn't want her to talk to Jeremiah because of his erratic behavior, and he doesn't know how Jeremiah is going to, I guess, react to the conversation. And Fatima is pregnant, and he doesn't want any harm to happen to her. I'm like, oh, how convenient that we have this speech, considering we as the audience know that Jeremiah has already kind of roughed up Fatima. Alright, so here's where things get weird, right? Because Zach has already started walking off to go get Jeremiah, so that way they can have a conversation. However, it gets weird because Fatima's like talking to Connie, like, "Hey, stop him from talking to Jeremiah." So Connie's like, "Oh, well, Jeremiah isn't here. I've been here all day and he hasn't been here." And Zach is like, "Okay, so y'all are covering up for him." And honestly, this whole storyline is giving stupid. Okay, it's absolutely giving stupid at this point, because why are we covering up for Jeremiah? And he's the same one who had already hit Fatima. Like, what's going on here? Like, we've already seen these two brothers fight before in last season. So it wouldn't be no different now if they were to have a fight. Alright, so next thing you know, Fatima gets a phone call, right? Maybe it's Angela. Angela has already been blowing up Fatima's phone since last night, okay? Because Bryce, he ran into another car. Crashed right into this other car. And Fatima has made the executive decision that her and Zach are going to head to the hospital. However, he's irritated. He doesn't want to go because, again, he's so prideful that Zach does not want to go. He don't want to see Bryce. Okay, he still wants nothing to do with Bryce. However, I will agree with Fatima when she says that, yeah, you should have told Bryce that the money situation was figured out. But here's the thing, Zach wanted to make him suffer. Alright, so then we slide on over to Tony, Nate, Belinda. Baby, they are at the barbershop, right? And they're talking about how Bryce got into this accident. And this whole conversation was honestly weird, because you have Tony, he basically feels like, this guy must have been going through some stuff. However, some type of way, we get on a conversation of, oh, well, his car was a rental, and how clearly, he was going through something. I'm just like, why are the Three Stooges talking about this? Like, these are three people who hardly even know who Bryce is. I don't think that we need them having this conversation, okay? Then we got Belinda and Nate kind of arguing about how, he has this older car. And I just am so not interested in Belinda and Nate. Me and Mr. Tyrone was on the same page. Belinda, why is you here, girl? Why are you at the barbershop? Like, girl, you are getting thirsty. You ain't got nothing to do all day. Like, Mr. Tyrone had to ask her, "Don't you have a job?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm a grown woman. I got a job. We'll go there, please." Because it just don't make no sense that you just clinging on to Nate like this. You had nothing to do the night before, so you had to go cling on him in the hood. Now you over here popping up at the barber shop. Hell, I'm trying to figure out why Nate at the barber shop. Shouldn't he have a job? Ain't making no sense whatsoever. But I digress. So we finally get Belinda to leave, thank God. And Tony's like, Nate, what are you even doing with Belinda? Like, keep in mind, this man is supposed to have a whole family, okay? But he playing around with Belinda. Now, according to Nate, this is just something fun for him to do, okay? It's given that his wife has put him out and he need a place to stay. So this is why he keeps crashing at Belinda's place. Sir, do better. Next thing you know, Jeremiah comes into the barbershop. Now, we already know that he's not there for a haircut, so let's see what type of foolishness that he bringing in. Oh, wait, he over here trying to steal a watch, right? He only got one. He ain't got a bunch of watches. Nope. He just got this one watch. And he's like, yeah, I'm selling this watch. Anybody want to buy this watch? Blah, blah, blah. And Tony's like, oh, let me look at it. Baby, he look at that watch and he see that there's a description that says, to Fatima from Zachary. Child, he just stole Fatima's watch. Now, my question is, did he steal it off of her wrist? Or did he steal it out of her bag? Either way, he stole it. And the fact that he was sitting up there trying to deny that he stole it was wild to me. Like, I ain't steal nothing. I found it. Negro, stop lying. So the thing about this whole scene is that Jeremiah is so disrespectful because he over there trying to smoke in the barber shop and just doing way too much. And then he said something to Tony like, oh, something about his dead dad. I'm like, whoa, what are we doing here, Jeremiah? Like, and then I hate that the response is always, oh, well, Jeremiah, he's just high right now. I'm like, I would rather somebody put hands on Jeremiah, okay? I feel like that would make the storyline go a lot better. Nonetheless, he ends up leaving or whatever, and he left the watch. And Nate, he's like, oh, I can go take it to Fatima. I can go ahead and give it to her. And Tony's like, no, I got it. I'll do it. Because at the end of the day, we don't know what Nathan is going to say, okay? We don't know if Nate is going to tell the full story, if he sees Zach, or what's going to happen. So I'm assuming that Tony feels like he's the better fit to go give this watch back. Moving on, y'all. So we actually go on over to the hospital with Fatima, Zachary, and Angela. And Angela, you can already tell she been at the hospital way too long, and she ain't got no answers. So baby girl's looking real distraught, okay? And Fatima's there trying to be supportive. But what's interesting, though, is that Angela kind of asked Zach if he was actually sorry for what happened. Because, he has been on Bryce's ass 24/7 about his money. And we all know that Bryce was extremely stressed out about getting Zach back his money. Now, at this point, Angela has to tell them that, this accident was on purpose. Like, he purposefully hit that other car, okay? And I'm just like, well, baby, he about to have some legal troubles because he just caused a horrible accident. So this is where things get weird for me, y'all, because Angela basically says that she did not call his parents yet because she don't know them and she wants to have a conversation with him. Right? And I'm just like, well, girl, that's if he wake up. Okay? Number one. Number two, I get it. He may have a racist family or whatever, but at the end of the day, that's still his family, and they should know that he's in the hospital. So here comes the doctor, right? And the doctor is like, y'all can go see him now. I'm just like, what? We don't know what happened. Nobody said, oh, he suffered from such and such injuries. Okay, fine. So now we got all three of these people going to go see Bryce. And baby, he don't want them there. Okay, he already embarrassed because he got into this accident. And at the same time, none of these people like him. Well, Fatima has never shown any, any ill will towards him. However, Zach can't stand him. Angela can't stand him. So he don't even want these people here. So y'all, they have been mentioning that Bryce is driving a rental, right? Now, according to him, he recently sold his car so that way he can get the money to Zach at his mom's funeral. I said, well, why is that such a specific place to give it to him? Number one. Number two, so you went and got a rental? So you still gonna be paying on that, sir? Renting it every day? Baby, you should have got a bus pass. All right, so Zach finally tells this man that he got the money, okay? He tells him that Preston has, invested in the company. He wants 33%, and this is great news, okay? However, the only thing that I keep thinking is, Bryce, you have just shown us that you have some issues that you need to work out, okay? Because the way that you were just operating within these last 3 days is erratic. I don't think I want to do business with him. And it's even more interesting that after, what's his name? Zach and Fatima ended up leaving, they gave him hugs and all that jazz. Angela is like, listen, you need to go talk to somebody. Something's not right here. Because I know for a fact that you drove into that car on purpose, okay? He's denying everything. And it's Bryce, we saw it, okay? I need for you to admit that you need some help. Now, as they further talk about this conversation with him not admitting that he got a problem or whatever, one thing that I can say is that I don't like the way Angela and Bryce are hot and cold towards each other, because he's very dismissive to her right now in this moment, and she was very dismissive previously to him when he came over to her house. They are so hot and cold. Now, this is not a couple that I think needs to be together. Absolutely not. Let's not put them back together. But their dynamic is very interesting to me. And also, one thing that Bryce kept bringing up is the fact that Angela does not care about him. Here's the thing. I love the fact that she pointed out that, yes, I don't want to be with you, but that does not mean that I do not care about you. Okay? Dude, you literally acted a complete ass at her house. For her to then try to stop you from driving in your car because you were acting erratic, and then right in front of her, you almost killed yourself because you ran into another car. Sir, do you not see that you just kind of put her through a bunch of trauma unnecessarily, and she still cared about your well-being? Y'all, Bryce is just doing a lot, okay? Now, moving on, we see Zatima, Zach and Fatima, they're at the funeral home, right? Baby, Zach saw a casket. He said, how much is that? And that man told him, that's $18,000, baby. Zach started acting up, okay? Zach started acting up in there about them casket prices or whatever. Now, this is where things get interesting, because we learn that Jeremiah has already been there, okay? He's already been to the funeral home. And he tries to sell a watch to the funeral director. So the director, he ends up showing them a photo of this watch, right? So I'm kind of disappointed, because I'm like, wait a second. So this is how Zach is going to find out the fact that Jeremiah has actually put hands on Fatima? I guess, child. I guess if this is what they're going to do. That is pretty much where the episode ended, because I think we're going to pick up exactly where that left off on the next episode. Yeah. What y'all think about Zatima right now? Because we're already in episode 5, and I kind of feel like they're really stretching some things out that don't need to be stretched out. We have some characters on the show that I feel like, they can go. I'm not sure. I'm just really not sure about Zatima this season. I think I was more interested last season with the storylines. I feel like for this season, there's some things that's missing. There's some elements that are missing from the show. But y'all let me know what y'all think about it. Go ahead and comment, and subscribe to our channel, and I will talk to you on my next review. Bye, guys.